All right, so in this video, we're going to learn about the discriminant of quadratic equations. And discriminant will tell us, which is inside the root of quadratic formula, will tell us how many solutions we're going to have, whether one solution or two solutions or no solution. So let's talk about the equation first. So we have the equation here. We have like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and a should be different than 0. Now we have to solve this quadratic equation, right? We can use quadratic formula, which is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So this is how you solve quadratic equation, right? And we explained this more details in the previous videos. So inside the square root, which is b squared, right? B squared minus 4ac, we call it like, this is called discriminant, right? And b squared minus 4ac has like three cases here. So we're gonna have the first case, so b squared, so the first case is when it's greater than 0. So first case, when b squared minus 4ac, when it's greater than 0, so we're gonna have two unequal solutions, right? Two solutions, which is the first one. The first solution, let's call it like x1. It's going to be negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, right? And the second solution, which is x2, is going to be negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So that one will tell us like how many solutions we're gonna have. Whether one solution, we don't even have to solve the problem. Sometimes they're gonna ask you in the test, for example, or any problem, how many solutions, if any, right, for this quadratic equation. So you just gotta prove that b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. So let me have an example on this one here. So let's suppose we have this. So let's take example. So let me have this quadratic equation, 2x squared minus 10x plus 9 equals 0. And I want to know how many solutions, right? How many solutions that we have for this quadratic equation. I'm not going to solve it just to know how many solutions. That's what the benefit of discriminant will tell me, right? So we have like b squared. So we know that the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Well, first we have to identify what is a, what is b, what is c. So a, it's going to be 2. So a will be 2, and b will be negative 10, and c will be 9, right? So here we're going to have b squared, which is negative 10 squared minus 4. Remember, 4 minus this 4 is from the formula right here, and a will be 2, and c will be 9, right? So that's going to be like 100 minus 4 times 2 is going to be 8. 8 times 9 is 72, and 100 minus 72 will be 28. Now 28 is greater than 0. Sometimes you don't even have to calculate the whole thing. It's obviously, you can see that the answer here is greater than 0 because 100 is greater than 72. So you don't even have to continue, and that will tell you that we have two solutions here. So we're gonna have two solutions, right? Two solutions, two unequal solutions, right? That's gonna be for this example. All right, so for the next case, when we have b squared minus 4ac less than 0, right? Less than 0. Let's make it equal 0 here before I get to less than 0. All right, let's make it like equal 0. b squared minus 4ac equals 0, right? So if b squared minus 4ac equals 0 means this one will be gone because the square root of 0 is just 0. So we don't need this one here. We don't need all this, right? So the answer will be whatever it's left here, right? So it's going to be only one solution. So x will be negative b over 2a, which is only one solution. And let me get you an example here. Let me take this this quadratic equation here. So I got like x squared plus 10x plus 25, right, equals 0, right? And I want to know how many solutions we have here. So let's do this one. So we have like b squared minus 4ac, and b is going to be, we know that a first is 1, b is 10, and c is 25. We'll always have to identify a and b and c, because whether we're going to find how many solutions or you know, and whether we're looking for solutions. So b squared minus 4ac will be 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 25. And here we have 100 minus 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 25 is 100, and 100 minus 100, that will be 0. So we have only one solution, which is x equals negative b over 2a. That's from the formula here, and we know that b is 10, so the answer will be negative 10 over 2 times 1, which is 2. That's going to be negative 10 over 2, which is negative 5, right? Which is negative 5, and that's going to be my solution. There's only one solution here. And this one, just to let you know, it's only like something extra. We don't have to do this one. If they ask you how many solutions, it's only one solution. One solution. So this is like extra in case if they ask you to find a solution, right? So you don't have to find, if they ask you to find a solution, then you're gonna find the real solution, which is gonna be negative 5. But if they ask us how many solutions we're gonna have, it's only one solution, and that's good enough to answer the question. All right, so the third scenario for b squared minus 4ac, the discriminant, when it's less than 0, right? In this case, no solution, no solution, right? Why? Because inside the root, this one always has to be positive, right? Cannot always has to be greater than or equal to 0, cannot be negative, right? So cannot be negative. That's why there is no solution. And let me get you example on this one here. Okay, so we have, let's suppose I have like x squared minus 3x plus 7 equals 0. Now the first step we have to do is to find a and b and c, right? So we have to find a. So a is 1, b is negative 3, and c is 7, right? And to find b squared, so b squared minus 4ac, right? That will be, so b squared is going to be negative 3. That's going to be negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times 7, right? And that will be 9 minus 28. And that's good enough because we know that 9 is less than 28, so we're going to expect the value would be negative. And if you want to continue, it's going to be like negative 19, and we know that negative 19 is less than 0, so there is no real solution. No real solution.